This story was sent to me by Justice for All, and let me just tell you something right now. I appreciate honesty. I love when people don't dance or beat around the bush, and that's going to be the case of this story right here. But in this picture, you see two people. On the left is a man by the name of Anthony Trifoletti, but his name should be Anthony Trifling. And on the right is a man by the name of Doug Lewis. Anthony is 24 and and Doug is 39. Now you would think, looking at this picture, that the ages would be switched because the person who the focal point is going to be looks older than the one who is also a focal point. But anyway, this man Anthony Trifling has been charged with killing this black man in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, this is going to lead into why I said I appreciate honesty, because his reasoning as to why he killed this man couldn't be is probably one of the most honest answers that anyone could give besides whatever he could come up with. So, the reason why, or a quote that came from him, and this is a direct quote from Anthony, he says, "White people can get away with killing a black man by saying they were afraid." Let me go on. Let me continue. Anthony Trifling told St. Paul police he felt threatened with death by a man he believed to be an armed gang member before firing his own gun in self-defense. Now, why does this sound so familiar? Why does it sound like what happened with the Ahmaud Arbery story, where you had the two palm-colored individuals, the father and the son, went out inward hunting? That's basically what it was. And said they were fearful that this guy was involved with a string of break-ins in the neighborhood and that they killed him in self-defense. It's the same song and dance. Trifling, age 24, is facing a count of second-degree murder for killing Doug Lewis, age 39, after a Friday night traffic incident that started with Lewis rear-ending Trifoletti's truck in a fender bender. Lewis's sister Valerie tells the Star Tribune her brother was a father of four who made a living as a delivery driver for 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Amazon, and DoorDash. She also said Trifling's explanation for the shooting sounds very familiar. White people can get away with killing a black man by saying they were afraid. Now, I know I said at the beginning that was a direct and getting away with it, whether they are a citizen or a cop. The accident occurred near the intersection Highway 61 and Burns Avenue, which the two drivers pulled onto and exited their vehicles. Trifling, who lives in Watertown, took pictures of the damage to his pickup truck and later told the police the two men started arguing when he tried getting Lewis's insurance information. Both he and a friend present say they heard Lewis say, "I'm GD," which they took to mean he was a gang member. Other witnesses say they didn't hear this from Lewis. Of course they're going to come up with that. That's the best thing they could come up with to justify why they killed this man. And I would not be in the least bit surprised if they got off on that. Because see, dead men don't tell no tales, even though the witnesses say that he did not say that. Eventually, Trifling and Lewis got back in their cars, Lewis pulling out first and Trifling unintentionally following behind him. Are you sure about that? You don't just unintentionally follow behind someone after something like that occurs. He intentionally followed behind this man. Lewis put his car in park, got out, and came towards Trifling, who grabbed a handgun he was permitted to carry and fired at Lewis, hitting him 4 times. That's what you call overkill. Trifling drove off as witnesses called 911 and tried to stop Lewis's bleeding. An ambulance delivered Lewis to Regents Hospital, where he was declared dead. Anthony, apparently acting on the advice of his father, returned to the scene and turned himself in. He told police he didn't think he could drive away from the situation or simply stay in his car and quote-unquote feared for his life in the strib words. Anthony says he saw Lewis reaching for his waistband as he approached the truck. Lewis was found to be unarmed. Anthony is being held in Ramsey County Jail on a $1 million bond. The charge of second-degree murder carries a maximum penalty of 40 years in prison. Of course he used that self-defense case. Of course he did. As they all do and will continue to do. That is nothing new. This man posed no threat to him, but he had to instantly go to the gang member thing. Oh, he feared for his life. Oh, he reached into his waistband. You know, the usual spill right here. I hope they throw the book at this man, but considering stuff that has happened recently with Ahmaud Arbery, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if this dweeb got away with what he did. And see, they're going to probably take one look at him and say, he wouldn't hurt a fly. Or someone's going to say, he's not like that. He's a good old boy. Oh, he sure is. But I offer my condolences to Doug Lewis, his family and his friends, and all of his associates, to those who have come to know this man. Like I said, it's the same song, dance, wash, rinse, repeat we have heard over the years. Like I said, this man had intentions of following this man, because why did he continue to follow him after they, I guess, got into their first argument? Like, I'll read that again. It says, eventually trifling, and Lewis got back into their cars. Lewis pulling out first and trifling unintentionally, those are their words, following behind him. So he had intentions to further piss this guy off. And I'm talking about Anthony pissing off Doug. Because why would you follow him if y'all already talked to the insurance company and y'all got that squared away? Why did you continue to follow him? No wonder he approached your vehicle after the fact, because he was like, why are you not following me? But I already know what y'all going to say in the chat, in the comment section. This is why, this is what's going to come for y'all. This is why you need to be strapped up, because you never know what the other person is carrying. It's funny, they want to declare he had a gun, but they had a gun the whole time, and the one that got killed was unarmed. But we'll see what the outcome of this case is in, later down the road. And so I'm gonna have to make sure I try to keep this on my radar. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.